So good morning, good evening, everyone. A special hello to the cool dog on Andrea's lap. Andrea, can you just share that face with us, please? What's the dog's name?
Sorry, guys. This is Ruben,
Oh,
Ruben
no,
Rockstar. He's head of security
of
and
course he is.
he is chief cuddles officer.
Oh,
Fantastic.
look at head of security. Ruben, welcome here. Why don't you just tell us what to do? I think Ruben holds all the intelligence.
We think he does in our office, Landy. In fact, we're pretty sure he does.
Andrea, we know he does, right? We all know he does. Let's not muck around. Anyway, so real welcome to you all here. I was saying earlier that we're going to talk about lead generation today. I'm very excited about it because me and Mike get lots and lots and lots and lots of calls about lead generation. And, people get many times that they have to have a brand and they have to have a website and they have to have positioning and they have to have all those things. But I'm really talking about traffic, to get the people, the faces and the names and the individuals actually to start paying attention and to drive that traffic to you. So I got you something really, really practical today. I got you a worksheet, and many of you is going to want this worksheet afterwards because this is definitely not something we can cover in one session. This worksheet is something you can go and open later. You can save it on your phone. You can print it out. And it's called a worksheet because you're going to have to work it, right? What's going to be good for Andrea or Ruben is not going to be good necessarily for Annalise or for James, So you have very, very different businesses. You operate in different industries. And I think what's really important, what I've learned, is that you have different preferences. I can say to you, according to research, this is the best lead generational tool at the moment. And then you go and try it out and you don't like it. It doesn't resonate with you. So I think before we go into that sheet, I want to distinguish between two things, and that is the hunter and the farmer. We got a person who generate leads with a hunter perspective, and we have people who does it with a farmer perspective. And I don't want to go and say one is right and the other one is wrong. It really is different, You get a Mike Hancock, he is a hunter. I mean, he stalks his prey like crazy. Why? Because he's so picky. He doesn't want. Mike is not the type of person who wants thousands of people calling him every day saying, "I want to work with you. I want to work." It's just not the way he is. He wants to have a lifestyle. He wants to be able to ring fence his time. He's really more into quality. And that, if you think of the hunter, is quality. So think of a leopard that's stalking and that's preying, and it goes through the jungle and it really looks, with its night vision, and it goes, yes, there's my antelope. I want that antelope. And then it goes, whoa. Then it has a strategy to bring that antelope in and take that antelope on a journey, which unfortunately in this case would be eating the antelope. But and I'm going to be freaking you out now. Then it's the farmer. The farmer is a completely different energy. The farmer is for me a little bit more, I would say, volume based, quantity based, right? You want to maybe build an asset. Let's say, for example, you've got an online course and you want to have 10,000 people in that online course, and then you want to actually eventually sell it because of, as we would call, the number of eyeballs in the course. No one's really going to be interested in your community system if you've got 2 students in there. But when you have 200 hand-picked conscious leaders in there, or you have 10,000 startup companies in there, people's going to really start paying attention to what you've built there. So we're looking here at the end game as well. So being a hunter is about quality and the type of people you want in your environment. A good example of a hunter strategy would be, you're a consultant and you consult with corporates and you say to me, Landi, I'm not going to drive volume here. I want to work with the CEO of Google. I want to work with the CEO of Apple. I want to work with the CEO of Amazon and 5 others. And I'm going to consult these people. I'm going to charge fees at the highest rates, or I'm going to be a keynote speaker on those stages. You're definitely going to be looking at a hunter strategy. Because then you want to be finding out who these CEOs are, and you want to have a lead generational strategy that's literally gonna rope them in. Just, can we have a moment here for Landi's tea ceremony while we're doing this? Just check this little glass here. And it's got its, I'm not sure if you can see this actually. Yeah. Check. With this little thing at the bottom. And now we go. And we have this and we throw it in there. We've got a tea ceremony. Isn't this just precious? I just suddenly disappeared. But I mean, we live in unprecedented times. We're waiting for them to announce the aliens, so anything can happen, right? So back to the hunter. So you have to feel it when I speak today. You have to go, look, I am a hunter. I can see this now. I can see I'm a keynote speaker who look for specific keynotes. And I want to speak with specific people. And I want to be on specific stages. For example, you may say, I don't want to do the keynotes where I go to the female network of 30 people. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. See, that may be your approach. You may say, look, I'm going to be more of a bulldog and I want to be standing on the Fortune 500 stages. That's the type of keynotes I want to do. Or you know what, I want to be on the TEDx stages. Or no, I want to be consulting with specifically key accounts. I'm actually using quite corporate terms here today because a lot of people who's interested in corporate tend to go with the hunter strategy because you're the expert and you position yourself for a specific, to align yourself with specific brands. Many of you on here are very tech. You go, look, if no one ever sees me again in my life live, I'll be super, super happy because I'm driving massive quantity of people, not quality, to my online course or to my website that converts or to my product that I want to sell. And then you're probably going to be more in a farmer strategy. So you can already see that the hunter is a person who's quite more into aggressive sales. I mean, the hunter enjoys selling. The hunter enjoys deal making. The farmer doesn't necessarily enjoy that much. So you can see, and I'm using the wrong terms now, so please take it with the right intention. The hunter is a bit more aggressive, where the farmer is a little bit more, they're the person who would say to you, I don't like the salesy stuff. I don't really like that much, right? So me and Mike has been massively promoting hunter strategies. Why? Because we're hunters, right? Does that mean the farmer strategy is wrong? Not at all. Who becomes the most successful many times? People who use a combination of the two. And what happens many times is people say, oh, I'm not a hunter. I'm just going to be a farmer. Good for you. Why don't you partner with someone who's a farmer? And bring those two together. Why don't you merge with someone who's a farmer? Or you would say, you know what, I'm more of a hunter. These farmers irritate me. I'm not going to wait for people to come along. I want to qualify my clients. Good for you. Why don't you get yourself a hunter? And it's the biggest secret of 2026 is that a lot of your partners is sitting on this call. A lot of your partners know people on this call, but unless you go and reach out to each other and get to know each other, those partnerships is not going to form. So who on this call is coming this year to Bali Business School? Yeah, okay, we got Andrea. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing you, Andrea. Who else? James, I think you're coming.
I'm also coming.
Yeah, you're not sure? Okay. Who else? Anyway, these are the opportunities.
Cancelled.
Who cancelled?
We had to cancel because of flights.
Oh, I feel so unhappy with the disgust, utter disgust on your face. Anyway, I'm sorry to hear that, Claire, but this is where you actually bond with people, but you don't have to wait for Bali School, I would say on these calls, sometimes sit on these calls and say, okay, Diane, you totally need to check in with Janov, for example, right? You two need to chat, talk to each other, see if you can open markets for each other. Then this is what happens. Diane reach out to Janov or Janov reach out to Diane. Look, you're a match made in heaven. You both have doctor in front of your names. You're both clever people, right? So actually, shall we get all the doctors on the call, right? James, Diane, and Janov. Then you can play doctor, the three of you, So that's what happens. I get people on a call, right? I say, you people should talk. Then what happens? Janov talk to Diane one session, boom, done. Oh yeah, Jana would WhatsApp me. Hi Landi. Yeah, I speak to Diane. What a lovely, lovely lady. Boom, end of story, right? Diane go, oh yeah, I did speak to Jana. Wow, it's crazy what's happening in Israel. Boom, end of story. That's not how you build a relationship. That's not how you build partnerships, right? If you want to actually really start forming strong bonds with each other and build really good strategic partnerships, I'm talking about the situation where you check in with each other once a month. I'm talking about the situation where you actually start WhatsApping each other and go, hey, Janif, we had a call, how's things in Israel now? And Janif go, hi, Diane, I know you told me that your dog irritates you. How's the dog doing now? It's like personable stuff. It's like real personable stuff. So anyway, so leverage this network because it's a very, very good way for you to hunt new opportunities, potentially in a non-salesy way, which sort of sits between the middle of the hunter and the farmer. So, okay, so now before we jump into the magical worksheet, I'm just going to look at some of your comments here because I like doing it and because sometimes I forget. Okay, so David, Annalise said, good morning, hope all is well. Annalise, I think for most of us, that is debatable because it's a crazy year, right? David Watts, okay, I'm capturing our notes and recording with Phantom. Let me know if you'd like me to share them or if you prefer it, turn it off. David, turn it on and share with us our notes. We would really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the offer. Andrea, like the differentiator. I'm glad, Andrea, because what I'm trying to do is not to box you, but to help you get a strategic view of where you're playing, right? And why do we do that? We do that because in my corporate years, I used to be very much into organizational design. So I had to go and design the organization for companies like MTN and such to be able to deliver a solution to the client, who those days was called the client, but now many times it's called the end user, right? And many times in doing that organizational design, we would ultimately come up with an organizational structure or organogram. And that exercise, what that did for companies, it didn't just organize them so that they can deliver through their supply chains. It also helped them to see roles that they didn't consider before. So what I'm doing in a very simplistic way with hunter and farmers, I'm making you go, oh, shibbit, I've only been farming, I've not been hunting. Or I've not been hunting and I've not been farming. And then asking around, is there people who want to merge with you, or saying to yourself, I'm going to challenge myself with this new skill. Dr. Janif, can I be both? Yep. Identify my target audience like a hunter and then market to them like a farmer. Janif, when you are a hunter, you tend to be more niche in terms of what you want. And I'm going to really make it very, very clear. You go, I want Amazon, right? That is a big hunter strategy because you're going to find out who's the CEO of Amazon. You're going to find out where the CEO of Amazon hangs out. You're probably going to find out they belong to some sort of club. You're going to make it your mission to become part of that club, and you're going to actually meet the person and be introduced to the person. So a lot of people who have this type of strategy go and they find coaches to coach them, but they're not interested in the coaching. They want to have access to the person. So there's a very good example. Leads can be hunted as well from a coaching perspective. So let's take what me and Mike does with our masterminds, our business mastermind. It's also a hunting strategy because we go and identify the people on LinkedIn. We put them in a boutique training. And then during that boutique training, what we do, we qualify them even further in order to become a high ticket coaching client. In the same sentence, if you're going to do farming, you also need to be very specific on who you want, but it's a bit more generalist. Why do I say it's a bit more generalist? Because if you're going to put posts up, or you have sales funnels that send people to your website and that type of thing, you're going to have a much wider funnel of people coming. And if they click, let's say on your Wise account, they have bought. You didn't have the opportunity to qualify them. Therefore, you find people who has a hunting strategy to be very specific on who they work. And you do find a lot of times that in the services industry, there's a big differentiator as well. And then many times with the farming strategy, because you don't have to personally deliver a service, although you also can, a lot of people make use of the farming strategy in the products industry. But I don't want you to cast that in stone, because you can have a hunting and farming strategy in the products or services industry as well. It's just for you to get your head around it. Okay, so we have Andrea. I love the idea of collaborating with the opposite of me. That's how we can bring a cohesive solution. Andrea, great belief of mine. Great belief, right? Look for people who's different than you. Merge. I can't tell you how many people sit and they have a business on their own and they're leaving massive amount of skills on the table that they can merge with. But why don't we merge? Because we once, a long, long time ago, had a business partner who screwed us. Now you never, and it doesn't work like that. That's why you go through divorces and then you find a new partner and you break up and you found a new partner, because partnerships are good for you. But you're not going to have those partnerships or be able to identify them if you sit on your computer all the time and you do everything on your own. So start going to networking events, start talking to people, not as if they are clients, but if they are partners. Can you imagine if all of us on this call had a company together? What would we do in a case like that? I would basically get a flip chart and I'll immediately do an organizational design exercise. And I would literally go and see what is the roles that we need to fulfill in order to do what we want to achieve, which we'll decide together as an executive team, and then have an organizational structure and pop us all in there. And we have a full-blown company that can probably in a few years be listed. That's how powerful these things is. And I really want you to tap into that, because that in itself is a huge lead generational tool. So Andrea saying Bali retreat is the first weekend of August. Yep. Diane has given an email. Yes. So you two and Jan have chat and see what you can find, and don't drop that relationship. Then for you, James, because I did mention your name, I want you to check in with Rob Robertson. I want you to have a little bit of a chat, right? You both are big on holistic health. And Rob, Dr. James has got a practice in alternative medicine. He is obsessed with cats, any forms of cats. And Rob really has a focus on holistic health for sports people or people of high performance. So I think you two have got a lot to chat about. And please, when you check in with each other, post on Disco. Because why? Because I'm relying on you to tell people, hey, we were on a global intelligence update. We were told to check in with each other. You know what? I did it once. We couldn't find anything, but we're going to keep this relationship. You're inspiring people by doing that, by posting on Disco, or at the very least, come back to me and say, Landi, I checked in with Dr. James. I can't stand the guy, never recommend him to me again. Or, you know, Janif, I checked in with Diane. She laughed too much. I don't like her. Or, you know what, this was a really cool person. Thank you for making the connection. You know, let's keep the conversation going. Then Rob, I see you asking for the dates of Bali, 2nd to 8th of August. There you got the answer from Andrea. Andrea's onto it. James, welcome to the cats. Rob can attend, so hopefully we'll see you there, Rob. We stay in Vision Villas in Ubud. It is fantastic, I have to say. Andrea, Rob, have you met each other in person? Well, there you go again. Crazy, right? David, perhaps I should connect as well in terms of my autoimmune challenges and journey. Yes, David, you should connect with James and with Rob. These are your people, right? Talk to them, form relationships. Moira is your other person here. I mean, she's a modern day wizard, that woman. And she works very much with energy as well. So connect with each other. And then Diane laughs far too much. Karen, you're biased. Okay, so let's look at all these things. Now, I'm going to share with you this document, and I don't want you to fall into the technology trap, right? We're all falling a little bit into I'm trying to make this chat today more strategic and help you consider other options that you haven't considered before, because there's lots more things happening now that we didn't see before, and there's lots more options. Now, given the way AI is going, this is a worksheet. This means this may be already outdated in the months from now, right? That's how quick things are going. So don't make this your lead generation Bible, please. Use this to give you some sort of direction and use it for you to go and try things that you've not tried before. I've turned it into a worksheet so it can be printed out, so that it can be next to your computer and that you can start making notes underneath it. You'll see this, my action plan everywhere in the notes section in order to help you apply your mind. So now we're going to play a game because I'm all about games, right? We're going to start with the hunter, and I'm going to ask James to close your eyes and with your hand, give us a number between 1 and 10, please.
Landi, 9.
Thank you, because the cat's got 9 lives.
Thank you very much. You know, my
Right.
brain works in cats.
Exactly, your brain works in cats. So number 9, guest expert appearances, right? We are no longer that much into podcasting. We're really moving towards guest casting, if I can call it that, right? Why do you have to sit for ages and ages and ages and develop your own podcast if you can go and hunt out? Because remember, we're in the hunting strategy phase now. Hunt out people who already have your audience. Why, right? How many people are saying, look, I'm going to do my own podcast. Good for you. It's hard work. I would never ditch that as an option, but there are many, 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 I'm going to say the swear word, brace for it, influencers, right? Influencers, yeah, out there that has massive audience. And these people can't sell. They can't sell. They are brilliant in building community. They are brilliant in consistency. They're brilliant in video editing. Now, you have to be careful because you can see every time I'm going to make a suggestion, I have here tools next to it that you can go and check out, right? You can go to matchmaker.fm or Podmatch. Do not make that your end all. Don't go, Landi said I must go for guest appearances and use Matchmaker FM Podmatch. You can use it, but with a lot of these platforms, what happens, they match you and they match you with the wrong target market. What I'm more encouraging you to do is to go, look, my target market is entrepreneurs. I'm going to hunt out some of these influencers. I'm going to befriend them. I'm going to add value to them. I'm going to contribute to them. I'm going to position myself. I'm going to start relationships with them in order to appear on their podcast, right? But if you're going to only make use of Podmatch or Matchmaker FM, you may end up being matched with the wrong people, and then you fall into the trap of wasting a lot of your time. And also, you have to be strategic about it, because if you're just going to go on a bunch of podcasts and there's no funnel behind it, in other words, you sell something that really makes it easy for people to get into your environment, it won't work. David, please tell me what you want to tell me. I see you've raised your hand.
Hang on a second. There you go. I just want to make sure I'm back. I've been podcasting for probably about 15 years now.
Yep.
In fact, I've had you and Mike on my show as well.
Yep.
When I got ill, I stopped and it all came to a halt, but I've got over 250 episodes that I've published that are online. I've tried Matchmaker and Podmatch, and I just want to second what you're saying is it costs money, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, it matches you sometimes with the weirdest people that, in terms of what you as a podcast host are wanting to do, there's just no synergy. I tried them, I paid for it. I got one or two good people, but for the rest of them, it was basically episodes that I'd invested in and recorded and everything, and I just couldn't publish them because the value that it would give to my audience wasn't there. So in circumstances like this, in terms of what you and Mike do in Circle of Excellence and all of that, that's to me where you would find the best kind of people to talk to. I use LinkedIn quite a bit to get additional guests and stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts in terms of going to things like Podmatch and Matchmaker.
Thank you, David.
It's a
Thank you.
challenge.
And I second what he's saying, because me and Mike went down the Podmatch and Matchmaker route as well, and we had a big laugh. Let me tell you, we really laughed, the crazy people they match you with. But I think what we do is we forget that as hunters, we can go and hunt out the people who have our audience. But this is how we hunt out people who have our audience. Hi, my name is Landi Jac. I am this great, and this great, and I should be a guest in your podcast. It's not how life works, right? So if you actually want to be a guest on these people's podcasts who have your audience, then you would go and find and match yourself. Let's call it Claire Match. Claire Match is Claire Boss decide that she's going to do it herself, right? Claire Match go and find herself the people on whose podcast she wants to be, because she's been watching the podcast. She knows it's high quality. She knows they've got a great audience. And when you get one of those, this may be a game changer. I mean, many of you on this, I know, listen to Steve Bartlett's Diary of a CEO. People who appear on that podcast says their businesses changed overnight. I mean, I'm not even talking about, they didn't even have to sell anything on there. They had a conversation, right? So look at the podcasts that you want to appear on, almost the same as you would look like appearing on a very reputable TV show. You don't want to go for the podcast with 1,000 people. You want to go for a podcast that's really, really popular and has people in your target audience where you get positioned as an expert. If you have to start with the podcasts that has 1,000 people in order to build your way up, then you do it, but you're working with a hunting strategy. In other words, today you're going for a person with 1,000 people on their podcast, tomorrow for 5,000, the day after for 10,000, until you're actually appearing as a guest on the podcast. There's 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million viewers. Your business and your life will change. Now, strangely, we would think as something like this is a farmer strategy. It's not. It's a hunting strategy, not because you're hunting the lead, but because you're hunting the influencer or the podcaster who gets you on there as a guest. And this is really, let me tell you, this is media. This is what it was many moons ago to be appearing on the TV. Now you just appear on very, very famous podcasts. So thank you, Dr. James, for that number. I love that one. Now we're going to go over to Claire. Close your eyes, Claire. And I want you to choose between 1 and 10.
Great. Prosperity number.
Which one?
Oh,
Number? What number did you choose, Claire?
8.
8. Right. Okay.
Prosperity number.
Right. So prosperity number. Oh, you're not going to like this. Targeted cold email. But I do want to talk about it. This is a hunting strategy as well, right? Again, there's apps you can use at. I do not encourage you to use them. I know it's the craziest thing that's on there, but sometimes it's good to go and look at these apps to give you an idea more of the strategy I'm talking about. I'm not encouraging you to necessarily go and pay these things and think it's going to solve your problem. I want you to be more targeted. Now, I call targeted cold email love letters, writing love letters. Why? Because I would definitely go and look at my email list. That's the first thing. How many of you are daily building out your email list? Can I see your hands up? Who's still daily? Janef? That is a few, right? Does any of you want to share with me how are you building your list, your email list? How are you getting new people on your email list? Anyone want to share? Yes, Janef. Or did you
Hi,
scratch
friend.
your ear?
Well, I do it in many ways. First of all, when I speak, I always give a page where you can write your email and your details, and then it adds me every time dozens of people each time. Number 2, I do a lot of cooperation. For example, you mentioned the podcast or something like that, so I always give my website and my email, and people reached out to me, and whoever reached out, I put him in my mailing list. and also networking. If you handle, you take business card of people, immediately I put them in my mailing list. So lots of collaboration, and people come through my books. There is the detail how to join my mailing list inside my books, so they can buy it on stores, online and offline, and then they can reach my mailing list. So there is a 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. It's not just one method; it's lots of methods, and
Yep.
each time it brings me a couple of more people.
Thank you, Janef. Great. Ian, you have your hand up.
Yeah, my assessment. So I think over the last year, we've doubled our mailing list just through people doing our assessment.
So how did you get people to complete the assessment in the first place?
Guesting on podcasts, and I'm now building a whole network of facilitators. So I've got 8 people on my facilitator development course to actually represent us with our products. And they are the ones who are getting a lot of people on the assessment. I've, for example, got a guy now in East Africa, and I think he's brought us close to 100 assessments so far. And that's just in the last couple of months. So, yeah.
So these are people you strategically place all over the world, and they have to conduct the assessments on people. And do you pay them per assessment to get them to do it, or?
Okay, we've got an affiliate program, which we call our ambassadors. And so the assessment itself is free, but any client who then purchases after that, they automatically get either a lead fee, or if they've made the sale, then they get a bigger fee.
Beautiful. Now, how is that for intelligence? Thank you, Ian. That is really good sharing. Now, when you get more people into your email, as Ian and Janef have shared now, you can obviously continue an automated email sequence, right? That's still relevant, but it's still something where your conversion rate is going to be much lower in relation to the amount of people you have in your email list. When we were in America earlier this year, we went onto a sales and marketing cruise to go and see what's going on in the world and to feel people. One of the things that was really mentioned over and over and over again, that's really working in terms of conversion at the moment, is to have a landing page with one sentence solving a big problem and a button. Nothing else. Not a picture of you, not your logo, not how trustworthy you are, not even anything, literally that. And then from that button, especially in America, because America is text crazy, right? They take a person's text and then they basically connect with them further in text messaging. So you can translate that from landing page, one big sentence that solves a problem immediately. Give me your WhatsApp number. I send you a one-pager, not a book, a one-pager, because people can't actually take in all this information anymore, right? It's a one-pager. The one-pager give you the 3 steps how to turn into a unicorn. Not a book, not massive amounts of stuff, the 3 steps how to turn into a unicorn. You WhatsApp the person the 3 steps on how to turn into a unicorn once they actually played with your website and give their details. And then 3 days later, you go, hey, are you a unicorn yet? You know, easy to implement steps. Are you a unicorn yet? Yes. One of your 3 steps really gave me an immediate result. I already am growing the horn, but the sparkles is not showing yet. So you see what I'm saying here? Why is this important? Because now we've got a personal conversation going back and forth, as opposed to the whole email automation sequence. But, and here's the big but, Claire chose 8 for a reason, because you may have a list of 1,000 people on your email, or you may have a list of 12,000 people on your email. Just because only 2% opened doesn't mean there's not 98% of people who you've not interacted with at all and who you can check back in with. So here's my question. As a hunter, what would happen if you start researching every single person on your email list and write them a personal email, or get their number, which many times is in the email signature, and send them a personal WhatsApp voice note? Game changer. game changer. I can't tell you how many times me and Mike has gone, oh, we would like to go there for 3 months. We want a cash injection. Pick up the phone. Hello, da-da-da-da-da-da. You will be great on this. Hello, da-da-da-da. You will be great on that. Based on our honest, sincere feeling and knowledge of people where they can fit very well, and people just come back, boom, 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 massive cash injection. You can do that with a referral system as well. So don't throw your emails again away just because it's crowded. And if you don't like to be a hunter, if you go, Landi, I don't like to be a hunter, cold email in the form of a love letter is a way to sort of put a little bit of a film between you and the person so it doesn't feel that overwhelming, but it's still a hunting strategy. Okay, let's play a little bit around with farming for the moment. So for this, I'm going to choose Monet. Monet, show yourself. Or if you don't want to show your face, Monet's just landed in Melbourne. Oh, there she is. Welcome to the party, Monet.
Thank
Okay.
you, Landi.
Can you choose a number between 1 and 10 without peeking in the farmer world? Between 1 and 10.
All right, I choose number 7.
Great. Oh, it's right here in front of me, okay? So now remember, we're now on the farming, on passive lead generation now, right? Signature video presentations. Okay, so this is actually crazy. I'm talking here about a 90-second video that really explains your solution for other people, for your target client in a very attractive, clear, and understandable way. So, of course, you can go to something like Kajabi or Vimeo or whatever, but I'm really talking about either one video that explains, let's call it $1 million problem that you solve for corporates, right? $1 million problem that you solve for corporates. And if you're not sure about your $1 million problem that you solve for corporates, then go to our good friend AI. And then you say to AI, my good friend AI, I'm trying to create a master prompt about everything I do. Master prompt, right? Give me all the questions that I need to answer in order for you to create a master prompt for me, right? Once you have that, you got a master prompt that's saved in a PDF format, right? Then you upload your master prompt back into AI, and then you say to AI, given my master prompt, what $1 million problem do I solve for my target market? And then you go and create a 90-minute video that explains this $1 million problem, and you go and pin it to your LinkedIn profile at the top, or you put it on your website, or you send it to people via email or WhatsApp. Or when people ask you, what do you do? Rather than giving a business card, you basically give them this video. I've found now the coolest thing on this planet. Let me tell you, conferences can be a boring thing, right? Like super boring. I don't know if any of you feel me on this, but sometimes really great stuff come out of it. And one of the things I recently found that I'm really loving is this card. I wonder if any of you have it. It's called Soon. I'm going to hold it in a way because I have you can quickly, let's see if I can do this and you can see it. Soon. Oh, no, it's not that clear. Yeah, you see it? Okay. This is like a credit card, but the moment I meet someone, I click it on their phone and they have all my links. So they click it, they save me as a contact immediately, and they have all my links suddenly saved. And that way they can go and check me out. And if they were going, and you can upload a video in here as well. So once they have your contact, they can actually go and they can see this video of yours that solves this problem. Now, this is very powerful if you start to swan around at various conferences, which me and Mike still believe is one of the highest lead generators out there. It's conferencing, summits, events with people in your target market, because now you're going to walk around with your Soon card, and every time you connect with the people, you're going to go boop, 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 boop. They no longer just have a business card where they have to take an action. In other words, they have to later maybe go and put your details in, or a LinkedIn profile where you get lost in a sea of sameness. They now actually have almost like a linked tree, all your contacts saved, but they can see your video there, they can see your website there. So I think this is a product. I think this is a product that comes from, well, we got it in Malaysia. I think it's a product of Singapore. That's what I think. So I'm not sure if there's others that's similar to this, but it's really great for taking people from meeting into seeing your explainer video. Now, we're not just talking about one video here. You can have video assets. You can do with Vimeo different videos that you send to people via LinkedIn or that you send to people via email as well. So let's say you don't want to go and type an email. And to be honest, everyone is asking AI to type emails for them. And most people still use that long hyphen in their copy. And once you see that long hyphen in your copy, everyone knows that you've used AI, right? So because of these AI fabricated email and copy, you're almost better off using video now because people can see you. You're real. You know, when we have so much AI overload, use the opposite thing to your advantage by being personable. So go to those people in your email lists or on your WhatsApp lists who's not received a message from you from a long time and go and sit there and say, hi, this is Carrie. We may have met in this spot or this spot. You know, I've looked at your Facebook and your eyes is an absolute disaster. You probably have 2 weeks left. Gary, I won't use my script. But you get the feeling. You make it really personable. You say, and you go, and you're excited. Email can't bring this passion across, you know. You can go like, I'm super excited. I'm working with people's eyes. It's amazing what I can see in their eyes. You probably have been from doctor to doctor, paying yourself to death. I think we should get onto a call for 20 minutes. I'm going to take some photos of your eyeballs and I'll give you at least one thing that can shift right now. Are you in or are you out? You know? And if you want to make it a generic video, you can. But let me tell you, if I get a video in LinkedIn when people go, Landi, look, I've been watching you for many years. You travel a lot. I've got a brilliant solution for you in terms of suitcases that I've developed. It's very, very light. It costs a little bit more than usual, but I want to tell you about it because it's going to be great. And I'm going to give you a discount on it. If you are an ambassador for us, do you think we should get on a call? He mentioned my name or she mentioned my name and they're very clear of my lifestyle and they're giving me a solution. It's almost impossible to ignore these type of things. So there's so much more in here. And I'm going to take you through some of them. But again, I want you to make this worksheet yours and go and find the stuff that will work for you. So there is AI intent prospecting now under Hunter, where you identify leads that's already actively searching for your solutions. With AI, we can do that, right? You can combine LinkedIn engagement with a strategic email sequence. But for us with LinkedIn, it's always been about starting those high-level conversations on there. You'll see later here, we talk about Sales Navigator is still as relevant. You know, to be honest with you, I'm sitting with a LinkedIn now with 30,000 people on it. You know, what am I doing with those people? You know, we tend to go and now we want to find a new lead generation strategy. And a new lead generation strategy, you can, as a hunter and as a farmer, harvest what you already have. Harvest the email list that you already have. Harvest the LinkedIn that you already have. Harvest the social media that you already have. Harvest the network circle of excellence that you already have. And then decide whether you're going to harvest it from a hunter or from a farmer perspective, right? So who on this call have set up a call with every single person who's in the disco where all of our contacts lie at the moment, the client contacts? Who's set up a call with every person in there? No. We're not leveraging what we have, right? So I want to encourage you to do that. So same with your LinkedIn. But think of a sequence. When you chat to a person, say to yourself, look, I'm going to have a plan. When I chat to a person, I'm going to get them on a one-on-one call, a no obligation one-on-one call. And on that call, I'm going to do assessment for a person. Or once I've chatted with a person on LinkedIn, I'm going to send them to some sort of event. Maybe it's going to be an offline event. Maybe it's going to be an online event. Or when I've chatted to a person, my next strategy is going to be to get them to read my book, which is not always a very good strategy, right? When I chatted to a person, my next strategy is going to be to do an introduction for them. One of the things I do that works very well sometimes is once I've chatted to a person is I get them on WhatsApp as soon as possible and I start the relationship with them. I check in with them every 2 weeks. Hi, how are you doing? How's the weather there? We may be coming your way. How's your cat? What coffee do you like? I chat, right? Because I'm a social person like that, but I get them off LinkedIn and I chat with them. And then at some stage, when a relationship is built, then I can say, hey, probably should get on a call and get to know each other better or whatever. But send them somewhere. If you're going to randomly send people emails or randomly appear on podcasts or randomly chat with people on LinkedIn and there's not a step 2, then they get lost in transition, right? So, and think of the questions you want to ask people, and specific questions to your niche. Now, here's where the problem come in. Many times people go onto LinkedIn or on their email and they start asking these random questions to people, but the people's not in their target market. And then what happens? You piss them off, right? You piss them off. They go like, don't ask me this random question. It's like sending a corporate a random question. Have you considered what you can do so that your staff don't leave the business? The person's going to go, who the hell are you? You clearly also don't know the target market, right? So, whereas something that works very valuable could be to say, I've been watching your company for a while. I know you are actually going through a lot of change at the moment. I am in your area. I'm in your country in 2 weeks from now. I would like to treat you to an absolute no obligation coffee in this 5-star hotel to share with me some of my latest findings from traveling around the world and see if there's potential synergy. That feels a little bit more personable. It's basically connected with coming to that specific country. You tell them, look, I want to hand you a report, a white paper report that I've done during that coffee session, and there's no obligation. That feels more like something that I would leave my office for, you know. You can do your mini masterminds, boutique trainings work online and offline very, very well. I spoke about personal messages on video, joint venture partnerships. I can talk to you about this for ages. You know, if you change your mindset from becoming a company who's hunting clients to an individual who's hunting for good deals, things will change. Every day, what deal can I make? Who can I merge with? Who can I do something with someone else? What can we create together? Can we run a summit together? Can we do an event together? Can we do a promotion together? Can we go and find a third person and make magic together? Can we take my marketing skills and combine it with a celebrity who happens to want to market themselves as well, and then basically merge with a company who specializes in VAs or outsourcing who's not making money? How can the three of us come together? If I'm a marketer and a celebrity and a VA company with a team of 10, in that one deal, basically, you create massive brand magnification with the help of and reach with the celebrity, plus you insert expertise, knowledge, plus you've just got yourself with that deal, 10 people executing for you. Different mindset, right? Very, very different mindset. Live social audio engagement. Live is hot at the moment. Why? Because people don't want to see AI, clones at the moment. They will eventually. Don't shoot the messenger. But at the moment, people's wary, they're skeptical. So anything live, any live video, any scripts that actually almost have spelling mistakes in it, people will trust more. But if your script is, I have people sending me WhatsApp messages now that they've AI'd before. It's not even them. I can see it because of, can someone just help me? What do you call that long stripe in English? Is it a hyphen? What is it? Yeah. So if something is AI, the hyphen is much longer than usual. That shows everyone that you've actually created a script with AI. James?
Underscore.
It's not an underscore, it's the one that's in the middle. The underscore is the lower one.
It's
talking
M
about the
dash.
M dash.
M dash.
dash.
Yeah.
So it's thank you, Claire. A long him dash in your copy tells everyone that the copy was created by AI and not by you. So you lose instant credibility. So if you want to use AI, at the very least, go back and shorten your him dash to a normal length so that they don't know that. So I get people who send me now WhatsApps with all these long him dashes in it, and I know they've AI'd it. It's not even their voice. And it's making me not want to do deals with them. It's bad, but that's it. We spoke about cold email. You can do guest expert appearances, podcasting. We spoke about that, but you can do this at other people's events as well, offline as well. It's not just podcasting, and then curated networking events. So there's a lot of farmer things as well. AI search optimization. It's becoming a massive thing. Chatbots, everyone's using this LM notebook to put their stuff in to have chat box, so you can go and check that out. Educational content modes. I don't want to rush through this further because I'm just going to overwhelm you, right? Go and look at your worksheet, your worksheet. Your worksheet. Same thing, isn't it? Worksheet, word. Print it out, take a day, get yourself your coffee, your tea, whatever, work through this. It's going to help you a lot, right? With the minutes I have left, I'll much rather encourage you now to share anything that you think is working great, that you want to actually want to share with your friends here on the call. Anything that you've been trying or that you've been doing or that always has worked for you, and you just want to share it because you want to help other people, because you want to share the goodwill. Go. We're ready. We're all ears.
I have a tool in LinkedIn. If you have a community, then there is you mentioned the Sales Navigator. There is a tool in LinkedIn that enables you to target your clients. And then you can say, I would like, for example, CEOs and VP marketing and VP sales of companies between 100 employees to 1,000 employees in the areas this and this and this. And then I have, for example, 30,000 people. So I reach 1,000 or 2,000 people, and then you can send them a personal message to each one through the system, or to do a campaign, online campaign that, or to make even an event on LinkedIn and then invite them to the event. Event could be your webinar, event could be your conference, or even just talk with you or something like that. So if you have a community on social media today, you have many tools in each platform to target specific people and then to automatically send them messages. And if you pay like I do, Sales Navigator just $100 a month, something like that, and then it enables you to target even more in a more accurate way.
You're talking about LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. And here's a tip for you, Janef. When we did our sales and marketing cruise, they said we should use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to only, wait for it, target affluent suburbs. So, if you're in the premium market and you sell high ticket, and obviously it's only for you, it's not for a person who's got something affordable or budget. But if you are working in that target in the premium market and you use Sales Navigator, go and look for the postal codes and the addresses and target only the affluent suburbs. Because a lot of the CEOs, a lot of the executives, a lot of the bookers that you're looking for lives in affluent suburbs. So if you use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to nail it down, why would you do it, for example, the entire of Israel or the entire of New York, if you can go for the suburbs that's affluent? So there's a big tip, right?
Hey, I've got a tool when you're ready.
Yes, Rob, please.
Live streaming. I've been live streaming to LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and all these platforms at once. And you get I don't know about massive, I've only done it once. Because it's live on all these platforms, even goes to Instagram Live, it gets a much better interaction because of live. So the live streaming platform is StreamYard.
Yeah.
And it just live streams to all of them, and you go live, and you can even record your video and then put it in there and then make it live stream a recorded video. But I quite like the fact of the Challenger going live, so it's great.
I love that. I might try that. Thank you, especially because it goes across all the platforms. So, I've been taking a little bit of a social media sabbatical since January. So Mike has been posting, when we in a place, whatever, but it's not really been targeting posting. So I am looking for something different, and I may actually give this a go. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. Anyone else who have some magic to share? We've got 4 minutes left.
Landi, we've taken a real strategic approach towards our lead generation. And we've actually gone away from all of the platforms, and we've gone away from cold email. We've gone away from it all, actually, to be honest with you. What we've actually found and realized that the kind of audience we want to target, and one of our niche audiences is actually venture capitalists and investor groups and investor angels, because of the validation services we're providing. And we've found they don't want to talk to you on any of those platforms. If you want to talk to them, this is all about personalized, professional connection. And it's about who do you know that they know that's willing to talk about you and refer you. So we've taken a real hunter approach. And we've targeted more towards strategic and joint venture relationships. And in the last month, we've picked up 2 really strong connections through just taking a real personalized approach here in Brisbane. And it's really interesting because I've lived in Brisbane now for 10 years, and it's funny. It's like everything's starting to come back around. I love how universe, really, really follows you when you do the work, right? Because the people we're being introduced to through third-party recommendations and respectability are people I actually know. So I know, Claire, it's crazy. It's like, oh, we know Andrea. It's like, tick, and it's all happening from people are doing an email, they're introducing us to the people that are the decision makers. And I'm laughing my head off going, oh my God, I know that guy. I've got drunk with him, or I've done, or I've had this conversation with him, whatever. And it's all starting to go around. So we've been almost like the world's best kept secret.
Wow.
Insofar as, we've gone the complete opposite. We've got 3 contracts here right now that are about to go over the line, and those 3 contracts will bring in close to about 150,000 for us, Australian.
Yeah, I have no doubt. See, this makes me so happy. Thank you, Andrea, for sharing it, because we can so quickly take this worksheet and jump into the tool. I'm saying get away from that, build your relationships, go out to the people, and look what's happened now. Andrea and her team is creating a premium, exclusive, best kept secret. And let me tell you now, Andrea, the thing's going to roll. Now it's going to swell, right? Now you're going to go from the one to the other, whatever. And you're going to go, hey, I actually have not been doing any marketing that much, because you've taken a completely different, you're in a wormhole almost. And that is the wormhole of being the hunter. Here's the shocking point for today before we say goodbye. If you can build relationships with people very well, you're actually a hunter. Oh, did Landi just say that? If you really good with relationships, you're actually a hunter, whether you like it or not. Use that to your advantage. If you're very introverted, you tend to go towards the farmer strategy, right? But if you know you are good with people, you should be getting out there. There's big contracts waiting for you. I'm going to stop it right here. Thank you for all of you for showing up, for contributing. This is recorded. It will be uploaded. Re-listen to it again. And lots of love from me and Mike to all of you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Landi.
Bye-bye.
Welcome.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bali.
You send us the sheet, right?
Yes, it's at the top of the chat.
Okay.
No,
great.
it's not.
We can't see it anymore because I joined late. So anybody who joined after you've posted it, we can't see it.
Okay, then if you want it, you're gonna have to wait and hold on because I'm gonna post it right now. Okay, one second. Okay, can you see it now? Just dropping it in there. It's just taking a while to.
Great session, Landi. Thank you. See.
You're very, very welcome. You're all very welcome. Let's just tell me if you can see this before you
Yeah.
got
No.
it.
Just give us a moment to download.
Yeah.
No worries.
Okay, great. Thank
Got it.
you.
Thank you.
Everyone got it?
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're
Yep,
welcome,
thank-
everyone. Have a good week.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye.